What is going on, everybody? My name is Monatui, and today I am bringing you guys my Week 6 team builder for the PPL Division 2. Now, if you guys don't know what the PPL is, or the PPL D2, please check out the description below. There will be a link to the PPL Twitter and the PPL YouTube, so check that out for constant videos, updates about the PPL itself. And please check out our opponent this week. We are going against Troy, the Trojan Horsey. Incredible guy. He just hit 500 subs, I believe. I believe it was just... Did he hit 500 subs? I don't know. He had like the 1 year anniversary of his channel. So go congratulate him on that. Please sub if you haven't already, though I'm sure most of you guys have already heard of him. And yeah, I think we're going to get into the team soon. Actually, before we get into the team, I would like to point out that the match against Troy today that we are having is the most important match of the season. Currently, I am sitting at 3-2 with a differential of +8. Troy is 4-1 at +8, and Kelly is 4-1 at +8. If we look at the league table, we can see, the information I just said, but we see, if I win against Troy, I am automatically bumped up to second place. There is no way for him to have a higher differential, because if I win 1-0, I am +9 differential, he is at +7. No possible way for him to be ahead of me. If Kelly loses also, then that means that I am jumped up to first place. Even if Kelly does not lose, if he defeats Layson or Paul, I will be at second place, meaning I don't have to fight for a playoff spot at this point in time. And that's going to be huge, because that one playoff spot, or that one playoff match against the third last in Division 1, is just a burden. I'm not saying we can't win. I have no idea who it's going to be against, who the two people are going to be, but having a safe transition into D1 without having to fight for it at the very, very end is going to be a nice burden off my chest, which is why this match is absolutely huge. Something else you'll see, all of these guys have 9 points, 3 wins. Anybody who wins this match is going to be put above me. The competition is very close in D2. And like I said, if I win, I will bump up to number 2 and I will pass Troy. And Troy is not an easy win at all. He has a very scary team, he has a lot of versatility in his team, and he has improved his battling skills immensely from last season. So, like I said, this is a huge, huge battle. And I spent a lot of time building the team that you're about to see. I got a lot of people's insight on it, and ultimately this is the final product. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off, we're going to go with one of the biggest offensive threats to his team, Mega Aerodactyl, holding the Aerodactylite pressure. We have Aerial Ace to hit the Amoonguss, Crunch to hit a few things like Latias and Slowking. Earthquake, this is so that I can hit the Entei as well as, what else is it for? The Raichu. As well as the Lucario. Lucario is a very big threat, I'll get into that later, but I need to be able to take on that Lucario. Didn't mean to skip ahead. And then we just have Ice Fang. Ice Fang is so that I can one-shot the Gliscor. If it's max physical defense, then it may be able to take 1 before Stealth Rocks, but I really don't think he's going to be bringing max physical defense. I think he's going to bring some speedy offensive variant, and Ice Fang will be able to one-shot. Now, with this investment, I will be able to outspeed a timid Latias and a timid Raichu after Mega Evolving, which, again, like I say every week, another reason I love Mega Aerodactyl. Super fast things, minimal speed investment, outspeed them after Mega Evolving. I do have to be careful about Scarfed Lati and Scarf Raichu, primarily Scarf Raichu, because I can take a hit from the Scarf Lati because of all this bulk. But yeah, that's going to be this is a very, very big threat to his team. Honchkrow can Sucker Punch it, and Lucario can Bullet Punch it, so the speed stat doesn't really matter there, but because of all of this bulk, I will be able to take one of those. Even a Life Orb Bullet Punch from adding a Lucario, I will be able to take it with this thing. This is just a huge, huge threat. It's guaranteed, it's almost guaranteed to live a hit, and it's guaranteed to hit back extremely hard. Next up on the team, we are bringing Manaphy. Manaphy, I believe, is the only Pokemon. Manaphy and Excadrill, I believe, are the only 2 Pokemon that I have brought to every single match, and for a reason. Manaphy is just a huge, huge threat to his team, can potentially be a very big annoyance as well. Looking at his team, I'm just going to move that over there. looking at his team, I really wanted Energy Ball for the Slow King here, because that is a pretty big annoyance to my team in itself, but I realized he's probably going to be bringing mostly physically defensive. I have an Excadrill, I have Mega Aerodactyl, I have a Hariyama that doesn't want to take a knockoff. I really think he's going to bring physically defensive, even if he does not. Even if he brings a special set, I should be able to beat it with this Manaphy set after some setup. Scald, I will eventually get the burn on the Slow King. It'll be wearing it down. If it's not running leftovers, if it's running something like Colberberry, I will be able to wear it down even faster. And at that point, nothing else wants to switch in on a +3 Scald. Like Latias doesn't really want to take it, plus I can hit it back with an Ice Beam afterwards. Lucario obviously doesn't want to switch in, nothing else really wants to switch in on it. Even anything that comes in will risk the burn. The Amoonguss that could potentially take it if it's Assault Vest does not want to get burned, like I said. This is just a huge threat and can be a huge annoyance to his team. This set I'm running Scald Ice Beam, like I said, hit everything super effective or neutral bar the Slow King. Tail Glow for the +3, and then Rain Dance. Now I was very close to running Heal Bell over Rain Dance, but I didn't for 3 main reasons. One, I didn't feel like my team needed a Cleric too badly. Like, I could get something paralyzed, but this is running Flame Orb, so it probably won't. I'm probably... he's in with his Slow King, and I'm in with my Mega Aerodactyl. He's probably just going to click Scald anyway. And 3, my main switch into Slow King primarily is Manaphy anyway, so I'll be able to Rain Dance and get myself rid of the paralysis. Another reason I want Rain Dance is because at +6, I should be able to 2-hit KO Slow King if it is not Assault Vest or if it is not Max Special Attack with the Scald in the rain, which is very cool. Also, I do not want to get rid of the burn on my Hariyama. Like, suppose I'm in with Manaphy, I click Heal Bell, and then Manaphy goes down. If I go right out into my Hariyama, it's not going to have its Guts activated yet, and I really don't want to lose because something silly like that happens. That is a minor thing, but it is a reason why I didn't want to. And one more reason, I didn't really mention, or, well, of course I didn't mention it because I'm mentioning it now, but I would like to bluff the rest on this Manaphy, because Honchkrow is a pretty big threat to my team. It 2-hit KOs everything. Well, Life Orb, Adamant, 2-hit KOs everything, including Togetic and Uxie with Brave Bird. Granted, Uxie is running the Rocky Helmet and Ice Punch, but it's just a very big threat to my team. At +1, thankfully, Manaphy can take 1 hit from it, from full health, but again, it's just a huge threat, and it's going to be very tough to deal with. Thankfully, but, well, not thankfully, but what I want to do with this is set up a Rain Dance on a potential Sucker Punch while I'm at lower health, and then click Scald after that, because he's going to be predicting the rest while I will be able to hit it with the Scald and the Rain, and that could come in very big handy. Honchkrow is not bulky at all, so I should be able to knock it out after a little bit of recoil damage, and yeah, that's kind of like another minor small thing, but it's going to be one of those things where if it happens, I'm going to be super grateful it happens. So yeah, kind of just a reason why I think Rain Dance is a little bit better than Heal Bell. I know I spent a lot of time on Manaphy, but now we are going to move on to another pretty big threat in Excadrill. We're going to be running a Choppleberry Excadrill this week. This is because Lucario is an enormous threat, like I already said. I have no idea what that set is going to be, because if he runs Special, he can run Nasty Plot, and then Dark Pulse and Vacuum Wave for the Excadrill and the Uxie. If he runs Physical with Swords Dance, that would make a lot of sense too, because he'll be able to hit Cupid with an Iron Tail, he'll be able to hit NASCAR Bird with the Bullet Punch, he'll be able to hit everything with E-Speed, like I just said. So it's kind of a toss-up. He may run Mixed, I'm not entirely sure. So this is going to be, the Choppleberry allows me to beat pretty much any Lucario set. He's not going to immediately stay in on me because I could potentially be Scarfed. If he is Scarfed himself, I will be able to take one close combat with the Choppleberry and knock him out with the EQ. We're running Earthquake and Iron Head. Those are the only 2 coverage moves I need. and then Rapid Spin, and then we have Sleep Talk. This is so that in case I get put to sleep by Amoonguss's Spore, I will be able to click Sleep Talk and potentially get a lot of damage on something. For example, if he tries to Spore me with Amoonguss and then go out into something like Lucario to try and get a free setup, he will be very displeased if I suddenly pop an Earthquake while I'm sleeping. Like Excadrill will snore so loudly that the ground shakes and something dies. That would be awesome. So yeah, plus that, again, like I said, I don't need any more coverage in these three. I was thinking Magnet Rise for the Gliscor, but I'm kind of thinking he's bringing a Speedy Gliscor anyway, so I wouldn't be able to outspeed it. So yeah, this is the Excadrill. Like I said, very big threat to his team, actually. It doesn't really have a safe switch-in other than Gliscor, so potentially physically defensive Amoonguss as well. So again, I'm going to be looking out for this thing to be a potential late-game sweeper. I have a couple of those, but this is a very big one. Also, speed investment. This allowed me to outspeed Adam and Entei. That's kind of simple there. 12 Speed F allows me to take a Vacuum Wave a little bit better. I forget if I mentioned this, but with the Chople Berry, I can take a +2 Vacuum Wave from Life Orb Lucario. Now, next up, we got probably the biggest offensive threat to his team, and I'll get into why in a little bit. But Guts Hariyama with the Flame Orb, we are running Close Combat, Knockoff, Heavy Slam, and Ice Punch. The combination of these 4 moves hits his entire team super effective, other than the Entei, and Entei goes down to a Guts boosted Close Combat anyway. This is a huge, huge threat to his team. He has nothing to switch in on it safely. Raichu dies to a Guts boosted Knockoff, plus it just dies to Close Combat. Honchkrow dies to Close Combat. Gliscor will go down to an Ice Punch. Lucario dies to Close Combat. Slowking has a chance to die from Knockoff if it's fully physically defensive, and if it is not, then it will go down if it's specially defensive. Could be running Colbur Berry, and I do have to watch for that, but that is, that's just, you know, something he could be running. It's still a big threat to that. Florges takes a lot of damage from a Heavy Slam, especially Guts boosted Heavy Slam. Amoonguss is 2 KO'd by Ice Punch, and Latias is knocked out by the Knockoff and hit very, very hard by the Ice Punch. Latias, another thing I think he could be running Colbur, but thankfully I do have the Ice Punch to hit that super effectively as well, so if I weaken it a bit, I can just safely click Ice Punch. And Entei, like I said, just goes down to Guts boosted Close Combat and cannot knock me out. Now, you'll see here, this is kind of a weird spread to run on Hariyama. Usually you're running it pretty much all in bulk, but Troy is very good at speed creeping, and he knows that I know how to speed creep. Meaning, if I were just running a normal speed creeping Hariyama, I would run just enough speed to outspeed the Florges. However, I think Troy is going to expect that, and I am going to run max speed Adamant on this Hariyama. Well, for 2 reasons. One, to make sure no matter how much he speeds and creeps me with Florges, unless he's running a lot of speed, I will be able to outspeed it. And the second reason I will get into in a little bit. So, that's it with Hariyama. Super big threat, hits everything insanely hard. Next up, we have Asian Child the Uxie, and this is, as you can see here, a very, very weird moveset, and a very weird EV spread. So, running Rocky Helmet, this is for the getting damage on the Honchkrow. If Gliscor goes for knockoff, it will take a little bit of damage. Entei, if it's going for extreme speed, then I'll be able to get off a little bit of chip damage. Primarily the Honchkrow, because as weird as it sounds, Uxie is probably my best switch into Honchkrow, because if it goes for Brave Bird, it will be doing so much damage to himself with the Brave Bird recoil, potential Life Orb recoil, things like that, and I will be able to hit it very hard with the Ice Punch. I believe it does 70 to 80%, so after 1 Brave Bird, I will be able to knock it out with the Ice Punch. The spread here allows me to take 1 + 2 Life Orb Dark Pulse from Timid Lucario. This much bulk allows me to live, I forget what it was, I believe it was 2 non-Life Orb Brave Birds from Honchkrow. So yeah, Light Screen is here because I am fearing Special Nasty Plot Lucario a little bit more than Swords Dance Lucario. If it is Swords Dance, my Manaphy can kind of take it on, as well as potentially Hariyama, if I outspeed it, because this thing over here that I'll explain. So Light Screen is kind of just for that, set up a Light Screen, U-turn out. Also allows a little setup better of a setup for Manaphy against the Slowking. which is very important because Psyshock is still weakened by Life Screen, but it is still a special attack. And then Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks are going to be pretty important. It's more important to keep my rocks off, but having rocks up is definitely helpful. It will guarantee KOs on things like Amoonguss, things like Entei with Earthquake from my Aerodactyl because I'm not running Stone Edge this week. Guarantee kills on Gliscor if it's fully physically defensive with my Ice Fang. It's just pretty important in general. Ice Punch is also to hit the Gliscor if it is not max physical defense. I believe it is primarily specially defensive, like if it's max HP, I will be able to do 50 to 60% with Ice Punch. If he's running Speedy, like I think he is, I will be able to do a KO it guaranteed. I know I'm going into a lot of depth into this video, but once again, this is an extremely important match, and I want to get all of my thoughts out. So again, Rocky Helmet, this spread, pretty weird spread. Also, the 12 EVs in attack is just to guarantee those kills. On Gliscor primarily, like I said a little bit earlier. So yeah, this is Uxie. Another pretty important pivot. Weakening the Honchkrow, setting up a screen. All of these could really come in big handy against Troy, because he has some threats that could sweep me, and this thing could be the thing that stops them. Now, next up, we are saving the last Mon as something that I've wanted to use the whole season, but now I think is the time where I'm going to unleash it. We are running Tailwinding Togetic. Now, you might be thinking, why am I running Tailwind when I have a Mega Aerodactyl? That is a good point, but with Tailwind up, Mega Aerodactyl, this will start off with Mega Aerodactyl, outspeeds, potentially Scarf Entei, potentially Scarf Latias, potentially Scarf Raichu. Manaphy will be able to outspeed his entire team. Things like Latias will not be able to drop a Draco on me because I'll outspeed them and hit them. That's pretty much it for Manaphy. But Excadrill, once again, will be able to outspeed everything on his team. Literally everything on his team. The only thing he can hit me hard with would be Gliscor's Sucker Punch. Next up, we have Hariyama. This is the biggest reason why I'm running Tailwind. Everything on his team, bar a potentially Scarfed Latias, I would outspeed. I would be able to outspeed a Scarfed Honchkrow. I wouldn't be able to outspeed a Jolly Scarf Lucario, but I really don't think he's going to do that. With Tailwind up, basically every turn that I have Tailwind up, he is forced to stack something. In my opinion, at least. If he pulls a couple of good doubles between Slowking and Florges, then maybe he'll be able to take some hits as well as Amoonguss. But this is just a huge threat to his team. Especially if he's running AV Amoonguss, he won't be running physical defense. He'll be running special defense to take on the Manaphy better. This is just a huge offensive threat against his team. Every turn that Tailwind is up, something has the potential to go down. It's just an enormous threat to his team. And I really look forward to letting Hariyama put in the work, because it has been a little bit lacking this season. Part of that is my fault. Well, I mean, all of it's my fault. I control him, so, you know. But this week, I'm gonna make Subaru Blah proud. Promise. And, yeah, without further ado, that is the team. Well, I guess I didn't go over the rest of it. Fully physically defensive for the most part. This is to take 2 Brave Birds from Honchkrow. Potentially if it's Life Orb. If it's Banded, I will not. If it's Life Orb, I might not, but this is the best spread I could run on it. Now I did screw up the EVs a little bit because... Oh, no, wait, hang on. Let me just check this. Okay, no, I didn't. I thought I gave it even HP, but we're fine. Seismic Toss. I wanted Dazzling Wind to hit the Honchkrow, but I want Seismic Toss to potentially break sub on Gliscor, break sub on Slowking, pretty much just break random subs that could be happening, break sub on Combine Lottie if he brings it, things like that. Does a decent chunk of damage to pretty much everything. He doesn't have Ghost type, so he's nothing immune. And then Wish, and then Baton Pass. This thing's biggest role, set up Tailwind, Baton Pass into things like Hariyama, kill everything. Because this is a huge asset to me. This is a big reason why I picked up Togetic. Even though, yes, it is risky running the Violite, it can be very versatile. It's my wish passer, it is a baton passer, tailwind. It's great, especially against Troy's team. Tailwind is just so important. Now, if he brings Trick Room Slowking, that'll be annoying, but I will be able to get a slow baton pass from my Togetic into something like Manaphy that can take it on. This is an enormous asset, like I said, like twice already, and yeah, this is a team I spent a lot of time on. This is the final product, and in about 9 hours I am going up against Troy. This is a huge match, and I am really excited for it. A little nervous, but really excited. Troy is a great guy. Like I said earlier, please check him out if you don't already know about him. Great guy, very good battler, and I'm super excited for this. This could be the battle for first place, and I really want it. Like, really want it. So, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please check out the battle tomorrow. It'll be up tomorrow, the day after this is uploaded. And have a nice day, everyone.